guys, this is Jazz with an opening to one of 3 reviews that I've done years ago, I believe, that I never got to edit or upload, but I feel they could still be relevant today on my channel, that most of my views of it still holds, and I think I've said enough points that it would be good to upload. I still have, will they say, I've gained experience since then, and some of these reviews are more professional than they usually are. This is also one of 2 reviews that I've borrowed footage from. So the review that I'm doing is, for this one, is Stay from 2017/2018, depending on, what it shows. And I borrowed footage from Joshiball, so thank you. I just find that my views would still relate today because it's a confusing puzzle game. I would still struggle with it, right? I haven't played it since, but I'm pretty sure my views would still be about the same, so enjoy Stay.
A few things before I start the rest of this review. One, I am going to be borrowing some footage because when I was playing this game, as I said, that I thought I was going to review. Well, when I was playing it, I didn't always have a plan to review it or do a let's play on it at that time, so I didn't record any footage. And frankly, now I don't even want to. I mean, it's like the game. I never thought I'd say this because of my fear of the word or the implication of the whatever, but it's a mixed bag of nuts in some ways. Mostly bad nuts, yes. Now, some people will say that the game Stayed is a really good game. You feel really attached to the character of Quinn, and it's just an adventure. Yeah. But personally for me, all the puzzles in this game, with the inconsistency of difficulty, the lack of directions on how to do these puzzles, and heck, Quinn himself can have such an attitude that you don't know where your relationship is going. Like, at first, I sort of liked the game. The character of Quinn, I felt I was addicted. Like, I didn't want to get up because I thought if I did something, which would happen, which, no, it does not affect the game at all. I learned that, thank God. Like, they were pulling my tail. But how do I put it? But yeah, and even at the first maybe few chapters, the puzzles were okay. Now, you're probably thinking, Jazz, you're a wimp. You like easy things. Yet, yes, I am not denying I like easy things, but even for me, I gave them a try. I did. I knew it was going to be a bit difficult. And the difficulty, being difficult is not the issue. It's the inconsistency of difficulty. And like I said, the lack of directions on how to at least go on with the puzzle and attempt them. Like, there was one puzzle where I had to put a plate together to give you the option of hard, middle, or easy. So that wasn't bad. I took the easy one, yes, I admit it. And that wasn't bad. But then after the first 5 or 6 chapters, it gets really bad. Like, my first puzzle I really didn't like was that one where you would have to rotate the circles and put the colors on it to match. Now, that took me a long time. And the first 2 parts of that puzzle, which was 17, yeah, it was 17, wasn't that, bad. But the last one, you had to there was 4 circles with, red, green, orange, and blue. You had to get them, all 4 pieces of that color, into that respective circles. They all had to be in it at once. Because if you tried to attempt another circle, even if one was completed, if you removed a piece of their color, you'd have to do that part all over again, that little circle. So you could not simply remove a piece and it still be considered complete. And I eventually got it, we'll just say, but it was ridiculous. how, like, it almost seemed impossible to fill all 4 of those circles needing to be filled without taking a piece out of the other. And the map one, that was mostly my fault because I don't understand geography or, you know, where things should be put. So I might give that the benefit of the doubt now, because if you know what you're doing, that is no problem, but I struggled with that. Where I'm stuck at, the mirror maze. I confess, I haven't fully finished the game, no. And I don't know exactly how far it's going. I'm doing this review based on what I've played, and my opinion on it. I've seen the ending of it, so I know that much. And I'll add more if I can. I still haven't finished it because it's always random. You have to, like, they don't give you real instructions on how to start this. Even watching walkthroughs, it's difficult to complete these puzzles. And also, there aren't very many walkthroughs for it. Yeah. Not very many walkthroughs at all. And there are absolutely no, as of now, and that I know of, there are no worded walkthroughs. Which is even worse. Because if you at least had a walkthrough with words in it that you could slowly, carefully read on how to do things, it might end up working better. And that I know is not the game's fault. But it's one of those games that no one has written a walkthrough for. It must be extremely challenging. So, like, I know a lot of my beef is with the puzzle, and I know it's supposed to be challenging. I said, this is not why I dislike it. It's that, like, even, like, a challenge should be at least fair. And I feel in some ways it is not fair. Like, for those, like, as I said, I know it's not meant for kids. And at least it's meant for at least late teens and to adulthood because of the content in it. Now, yeah, I know I haven't really gotten much into the characters of it, the character of it besides yourself. Quinn is a counselor who has been kidnapped, and he somehow finds you on the computer, and it's up to you to help him escape and to build a bond and such. And that is inconsistent too. Like, the answers I know this is meant to be a challenge, and you don't know how the answers are going to affect the relationship almost. Like, one thing you read out might sound, oh, this is good advice, and then you click it, and then he argues against you, saying in this logic, oh, this may not work, but you know you have to do something. And that's one thing about Quinn I don't like. That's the inconsistent character of Quinn. Sometimes he seems like you could bond with him so much, he can be funny and charismatic. But then there's moments where he's all depressed, and then he asks your advice only to argue against it. I mean, I know some answers aren't supposed to be right, but even the most logical sounding answer to him, he thinks of a way to make it in his view of it. Why did he ask for your help? I mean, honestly. And I know, some of it is frustrating, and it is fine for you guys who like this game and have no problem with this game. Just enjoy it. Just so far for me, it's just frustrating. Like, and the thing is, there was one situation I want to make about Quinn. There was an area where I completed the circle puzzle I was telling you about, and he asked me whether to take a drink of the water or go south. And no, I was after the compass, wasn't it? I don't know, but either way, he said, yeah, and he said to go south and don't take a drink. I clicked that, and the only reason I did is because throughout the game, there were situations where things could kill Quinn. And I thought, what if this, I know this sounds over ridiculous of a thought to think, but for this moment I thought, why? There might be poison in it, so don't drink it in case. But that wasn't what the guy said, but that was my logic. So when I said that, he said, oh, this is becoming a toxic relationship. No pun intended, he used that saying. I think once this is over, we should go our separate ways and meet other people for our own good. Another thing I thought, just as he said that, was this some type of romantic relationship? I'm sorry, I'm thinking too much into it, but just the words he used. I was a little creeped out by that. Like, I'm sorry, which this sort of made me think, okay, that's the thing with Quinn. There are moments where, he's kind of, well, when I say cute, I don't mean, romantic cute. He's a relatable character. Oh, I like this character. Then there are moments where I just want to grab him by the neck and push his face into that water, saying, you want water? You have water. I know, a little sadistic, a little psychotic sounding, but that was just my feelings at those moments. Like, I'm going through all this, trying to give you the best advice I can, but then you take it the wrong way. That's the thing, you choose the answers, you can't type them out, you can't give them for why you think the way you're thinking, so... Like, I'm sorry if that's the quiet about it, but it's just... Ugh. Now, as I said, I'm gonna borrow footage because I definitely can't play this game over for the footage. It's just too frustrating. I had to follow a walkthrough for a lot of these puzzles. Yeah. And this game, for me, will always stay in full mode. I don't know how to get into window mode, so I can't just pause it, click. Like, I would have to pause the game, click the button with the Windows icon, go and watch the walkthrough piece by piece. Yeah, it isn't good. It's that, I think it's more because it can't go into Windows mode that's even worse. On my version of it anyway, for some reason. But what do I have good to say? As I said, at moments Quinn can be charming. That's just maybe 25 to 30% of the time. The music isn't bad. I like that. For the game it is. The visual, what is it? The visuals, I will say, or graphics, that's a great word for it. It's not meant to be a perfect 3D adventure or anything, so, and it's not meant to be a 3D game. So, it's more of an indie title, I think. Like, pardon me if I'm wrong. I don't know the genre so much. But it's more, and it's not, when you talk to Quinn on the cell phone or computer, depending on how far in the game you are, the art style has more of a 2D graphics, but a bigger picture. When Quinn is walking around, it is pixel, kind of. It is a tall pixel. It's not like Mario's pixel in the early days, but it has more of a look to it. But you'll see it in this. You'll see the footage to see what I mean. But for the game, it's not bad. Like, it doesn't distract me. It doesn't bother me. I would give that a pass. The challenge of this game, well, I said, okay, challenge is the wrong word. It is really challenging, but not for the right reasons. Or not fairly. It isn't fair, as I said. It can be challenging, but then it can't be. It can be challenging, then it isn't. If the game was more consistent with its flow, and if it gave, like, even on the side, if it says, okay, what you have to do, like, it doesn't have to walk your hand through every little step. No, I understand, like, that wouldn't be a challenge at all. But if it, on the side, before the game started, if it gave you simple instructions on how it wants you to play this level, or this puzzle, I would forgive it more. But it simply throws you in. Now imagine if someone got this game as a review copy, and it was the first time you've ever played it. No one else has played it, or uploaded it. You couldn't upload, no one could upload anything to show you. How would they expect you just to go through that? I mean, I can understand they're planning for other people to know. Like, it's like the developers expected someone who plays this to know right what to do. In some puzzles, yes, you can figure it out. But they should be consistent on that. Like, how do I say this in the right way? Even if they gave instruction, I know people would be frustrated if the easiest puzzles had instructions. But if you're going to make your game so inconsistent with its difficulty, we should have instructions for everything. For those who don't understand it. Guys, there's going to be people who just like the idea of the story, want to get this game, and they still know there's puzzles in it, but may not be able to complete everything on their own. And those people who made this game should have at least given written directions on how to go about it. So, for me, guys, we'll just say I don't think I will ever do a Let's Play on this. It would be way too much frustration for me. I mean, I do like what they're going for. As I said, the story is okay. The ending, okay, that is another beef. They say your choices will lead to a different endings, but as I've seen it, I mean, I've only seen 2 or 3 walkthroughs of the ending. And it does not seem that your choices seem to matter very much. Not in the overall ending. Like, they say, oh, they have 7 or something different endings. Yeah, I think they mean the deaths. Yeah, that's what I'm starting to think they mean, the quick deaths. Then you can choose to restart the level, chapter, whatever. But that, to me, is not a real ending. Like, I honestly think, we'll just say I'm more disappointed in this game than absolutely hate it. I am frustrated by it, but if they did better with, as I said, the instructions to the puzzles, being more consistent with the difficulty level of the puzzles throughout the game, if they made Quinn more consistently legible and making your words like have impact and have a better ending, I would have forgiven it a lot more. So guys, if you are up for a challenge and you're good with puzzles, I wouldn't steer you away from it. But if you like the idea of the story and you think that the puzzles will be fair and you're not very good with just mentally taking the time to think and solve these puzzles, guys, I'm sorry, but just don't buy it. Yes, it's only like, what, 13 something, which I foolishly spent my money on. It would still save you that much money for something you could fully enjoy. Now, guys, I'm sorry, for those who like it, great! It has its potential. But for those who just get frustrated too easy, it's just not a good game. So, personally, if I were to give it a rating, just on base of myself, and again, even without completing it, I probably would give it maybe a 5 out of 10, because this game has potential, and it's not like the trashiest game in the world, but for me, it just wasn't fully enough to give it a high rating. So guys, if you enjoyed this review, give it a big thumbs up, and if you're new to this channel and you like what you see, please subscribe, it helps a lot, and I will see you guys in my next video.